Hey y'all, and welcome back to another video of My Creative Life with Kelssweetie, where we read books, we make art, and during a certain time of year, we get into the spooky season spirit. Today, we are going to be talking about my spooky season / awesome autumn bucket list. I added in the awesome autumn bit because some of the things on my bucket list aren't simply just horror, spooky type of related. I do like getting in the fall spirit. As a Midwest native, I do miss fall here in LA. So I do try and find ways to get into the fall spirit as much as possible. So there are a couple of things on this list that are a little bit less Halloween centric than usual. And so I did add that to my bucket list kind of title all over. So this is kind of a fall bucket list, a spooky season bucket list, and awesome autumn bucket list, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. Actually, today we went to Creep It Real OC, so that is actually one of my bucket list items, was to go to more Halloween events. So there will be a vlog of our time there. We had a great time. I got just a couple of things, not a lot. I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but let's get into the vlog. As I mentioned in our intro, I went to Creep It Real OC this year, and it was my first year going. I had a great time, had a couple of thoughts, but let's get into all of the vlog footage of my time at Creep It Real with my partner, and then we can talk a little bit about what my experience was there, as well as get into this bucket list. I'm very excited to share it with y'all because Summerween, having that bucket list really was really good for my mental health in a lot of ways during this time, but it made the season feel so much more purposeful, and I had so much more, like, a better time. My partner was really willing to go to all those things because knowing what we had planned ahead of time kind of took some of the pressure off and the anxiety around it all of having something planned every weekend and all of that. So I cannot recommend it enough to y'all to try out having a bucket list for every season. This is something that I want to continue doing because it was so much fun and it was the best time. So enough of my gabbing, let's do the vlog and then we'll come back and then we can talk then. enjoyed the vlog. I had a really good time. Now, it was my first time at Creep It Real. I do have some thoughts. I would do it again next year, but I would do it a little different. One, we got through all of that in about 2.5 hours. We had eaten before we got there, which part of us were kind of happy. Like, me and my partner were happy that we didn't like wait to go there and then have to stand in those extremely long lines, because there were lines everywhere. I personally don't think that they should sell as many tickets as they maybe do. The lines for the bar, which I get the whole thing about the bar because you have this cute little drink, like the bar and cookies and treats and anything that was food related and stuff. There was just long lines everywhere. And I'm not a line person. I would have to be starving to really be sitting there and at one of these events, like sit a long line. I just don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm at some amusement park. It really slows down my time there. My thing is just like finding out when there's a slower amount of people going to those places and then hit the event then, rather than stand in lines all day, no matter how packed or fun it may look in the camera. You can't get me to go during the busiest hour of an event. It just ends up not being a great time for me. So I will say that there was a good amount of lines. I'll also say that during a certain time, once it hit around nighttime, it really did feel a lot more crowded. And I understand now why that is. It looks amazing at night because of all the lights that they have up and everything. So I get the whole trend of doing it at night. Actually, one thing I would do next year is split half of my time at night and half of it during the day, like in that sunset hour, which we were very close to doing, but by the time the sun had set, we'd basically maxed out all of our time there. So I would probably push back us arriving there. We got around 5:30. It opens at 4. I would say, and that was around the time that a lot of families and kids are still there, which is fine, but my eye is on the horizon. So there were a couple of kids that bumped into me. I bumped into them because I don't be looking down when I'm walking around and I'm like trying to scope out the vendors and everything. So I would probably go maybe around 6-ish. The event goes until around, I've seen 10. But on my ticket it said 8. So I don't know if they stopped letting people in at 8. I'm not certain on that. But I would probably split my time halfway when the sun is still up. It seems like there's a couple of more families there. It's a little less crowded, and then still really get the vibe of what it is at night. Because at night, it's a completely different vibe. It definitely feels a bit more immersive and exciting, seeing all the vendors and the lights and all of that. It feels like a night market type of thing, which feels a lot more fun and more Halloween than during the day. That is my personal experience that I would probably do next year. Another thing that I feel like I would do next year is really plan my costume or my outfit. I brought a ghost face mask to wear, worked for like 30 minutes, took it off. Those 30 minutes were great. I had a great time. I got some footage from me wearing the mask, as you guys saw. But one, I don't know how Ghostface does it all night. Like, wearing that mask all night is torture in and of itself because it is so hot and my face was melting. Like, I could not breathe in that thing. Also, there's no peripheral on it. So in an event like that, you need a little bit of I can see on my sides type of thing, and I couldn't. And it was driving my anxiety high. I was running into people. I couldn't really see merchandise. And I also kept on scaring kids, which in theory sounds a little bit funny for some of us. In practice, it didn't feel as funny for me. So it was about 30 minutes of me having it on. There were certain moments where I took some pictures with it on. Then I took it off. I took it off for good. I do, though, feel like that is a great event to go in costume to, though. Like, to get dressed up, to wear something and everything. I feel like that would be perfect. So next year, I would definitely get kind of a lightweight costume together to wear that's not Ghostface or doesn't have a mask. I did see a lot of people doing that, and it seemed like a lot of fun. My last thing would be there were tons of vendors, like tons. If you go to the site, there is literally, you scroll for like 3 or 4 scrolls of just purely just vendors, and there were a lot of them. However, and this isn't necessarily just to Creep It Real. In all honesty, I at least enjoy the fact that I feel like Creep It Real really felt like a huge event, which I wasn't expecting that based on like how much the I would say that Creep It Real has not as many vendors as, of course, Midsummer Scream because of just the space and everything, but I would say that it gives it a run for its money considering how many vendors they really fit into that space. It's insane. And for how much the ticket is, I can't believe that you're getting that many vendors. Now, this is a problem that I've seen at a lot of Halloween events this year, and I've felt this way, so I'm kind of airing it out here. Midsummer Scream felt this way. I feel like Spooky Swap Meet probably did it the best out of all of them, but I also felt this way about Creep It Real, and unfortunately, I'm afraid that if I go to another type of Halloween event, I may end up seeing this happen a lot. A lot of vendors are selling the same thing. They're selling Labubu costumes, which I understand. I mean, Labubu's huge right now. I bought my Labubu simply because I saw it in costume and I went, oh, I like it now. Now, mine is a fake one. I literally just paid for a fake, and it was at another Halloween event that I got my Lafufu. So my boy Stu. So I get it, but I also feel like there was multiple vendors where we would walk up there and they would have their own version of a Lafufu or a Labubu or whatever the case is. You also go to a lot of these Halloween events and you start seeing the same vendors over and over again, which that's no shade to them. I get it. Like, you have to go through the Halloween circuit, especially the big hitters. You start to kind of see some of the same stuff again. The Scream Lab was there, which they're known for their pillows, which I at least feel like they do so well in the Halloween community because it's something different. No one else is doing that. They're the only ones selling Halloween pillows with like the fringe and everything. I actually got a keychain from them. I'll show it to you in a second. I did not see one person, one singular person was doing vintage Halloween decor selling. And they didn't have a ton of it. I think either we got there late or something along those lines, but I thought that they had some cool stuff, just nothing like huge that I was looking for. Somebody low key took something that I would have definitely bought as soon as we all walked into her space. But it's crazy to think that's the same thing that I feel like happened even at Midsummer Scream. That was something that I said. And even at Spooky Swap Meet a little bit this last year, I don't see anybody selling actual Halloween decor at the Halloween events, which is crazy. That's a complaint for me as a Halloween decor hunter and collector is not seeing really any vintage Halloween sellers at all at these events. There's a lot of artists and that's great, but at the same time, a lot of them are like Lucky Hellcat, which Lucky Hellcat had some amazing things. Actually, they had earrings and keychains and pins, which I hadn't seen a lot of those at Spooky Swap Meet before or even at Midsummer Scream. So it was crazy. See, they almost had me. They almost had me. If I wore anything other than my tried and true hoops, they would have gotten me. I just couldn't say yes to it, but they had some really, really great earrings, and if I was a Halloween wearing all year type person, I feel like I would have bought some things. So it's not saying that there wasn't anything nice or cute there, but there were so many stickers. There were so many stickers, so many t-shirts, so many keychains and prints. And my thing is that I go to these events cuz I really want to find like something different. I almost got like this handcrafted doll type of thing. It was just a little bit out of my budget. And she had some other great items. I really wanted to buy from her and she had some really great prices, but there was nothing that I felt like would fit in my space. And that's something that I found a lot has been happening lately. There were no physical media sellers at all, which was crazy. I saw absolutely, and me and my partner, he's collecting Blu-ray. I collect VHS now, and we were looking for some people who were selling physical media. We saw one person, and it was the vintage seller who had maybe a couple of VHS here and there, and they were great, but they weren't something that I was looking for personally. I just feel like there needs to be a cap on the category of vendors that are at these events. I understand and I love that there are sellers like this because some of their stuff is great. I can't do anything with another sticker. I can't do anything with another print. this is something that I've even fallen into, like creating merch and rewards in my Patreon, and even for Night Terror, us creating rewards. We're constantly trying to figure out what more can we make that feels special for people, because there's only so many prints and stickers that we can put out there into the universe before you have no more spaces or places to put them. I feel like this is something that I hope that they're starting to notice in future events, Halloween events. I wish that they put a little bit of a cap on the category of vendors. If you are a sticker or print vendor, then we can only have such and such as many as that. If you're handcrafted, there's such and such as many as that. And I would love for them to really start searching for more vintage Halloween sellers. You find them online all over the place. Why aren't they? Why aren't we seeing them at events like these? There's a lot of photo opportunities there. They tell you that, but you definitely find out quickly there's tons and tons. I loved walking through the historic home that was there. Y'all, one day I will live in my own historic home, I swear. But until then, I will just live through these events, going to heritage squares like this. Let's look at what I did end up getting. Literally, it was two things. One, I got 2 things of Coffin Coffee at Midsummer Scream. I have finished one. I've just opened up another since this morning. That will be my 3rd bag of the year. We have not hit October. We're halfway through September, and I drink coffee like a fish. So I got another bag of coffee. Y'all, I love this stuff so much. And I swear, once the October season is over, I stop it. I don't drink any of this coffee again, because you got to keep it feeling like special, you know? Also, I just can't afford it. Like, this comes from somebody who goes to Trader Joe's and spends like $9 to $10 on a bag of whole bean coffee weekly. Well, not even weekly, bi-weekly or so. Y'all, I can't afford it. They do have a subscription. I found out. I was like, oh, I wish you guys had a subscription for your coffee. And they're like, we do. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to see if it costs less money to actually be a part of the monthly subscription. And maybe I'll do that for 2 or 3 months every year, instead of buying every time I see them at one of these events a new bag or 2 of coffee to restock and avoid the shipping. I don't know yet. I gotta check in on that. I only, like I said, I only literally drink this for about 2.5 months, and then I go to my winter blend. I have to sit here and justify it. This is delicious though, and even my partner was like, you haven't hit October yet, you're going to drink this, you need to get another one. The other thing that I got was for my ever-growing bag. Wait a second, Stu, look at the people. So this is my handbag that I've been carrying around. I've become a handbag person. I don't know when it happened. I saw it at Marshall's, and then I was just kind of like, oh, that's really cute. Like, that's something I would actually carry. And I'm like, well, you need to be a grown-up now. You can't always have pockets. So I've now become a handbag person. With becoming a handbag person, I've also gotten onto the trinket side of Instagram, where the girls are putting trinkets all over their handbags. Now, here's the thing that I got today. And I talked to my partner, and he's like, I think you may be nearing the end with bigger keychains is his main concern. This pillow. So it was from Scream Lab. It's one of their mini pillows. And it says, I want to be in the sequel, which, if you know, is from Scream. It was cute. I thought it was so cute. They had a stab one. They had other Scream-related ones. But I really love that because it was simple and it was black, so it went with my bag. I didn't want anything that was too crazy because, we already have Stu, who's blue. And there's a certain color palette to this bag. So I didn't want to get anything too crazy. And it's kind of if you know type of thing. So I liked it and it looked classy. So that's all I got. Which is crazy considering how many vendors were there. Like I'm telling you, there was, I think, over 50. I want to say over 50. There's probably like less than that, maybe 30. I think. But that's still a crazy number. And then to be like, I saw all of them and I only got 2 things. That is it for what I did today. Now, let's get into this spooky bucket list, the spooky season bucket list. I don't know. We're still workshopping the actual name. It's not as easy as just saying Summerween, I feel like. So I have 13 things again, lucky number 13, of things that I want to do this fall season to get into the fall spirit, the Halloween season spirit, all of that. And me and my partner have kind of already done some of these things as per usual since it is already halfway through September. So we already even kicked off fall for each other. We did a movie night fall kickoff that my partner planned, and we made pizzas from scratch, and we baked like the slice and bake cookies, and we watched Halloween Town, and it was a ton of fun. And something about it felt very 90s movie party when I watched some of the footage back from like a reel that I posted. I don't know. It was just the best time and honestly really easy fun. Like making the pizza dough really wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, and everything else just kind of came together. So it really was a great time. I can't recommend it enough to have your own like fall kickoff or just a simple movie night. Something about it just felt great and not overtly expensive and also absolutely obtainable, and something about it felt extremely nostalgic as well. So I can't like say enough, like plan one for yourself. Overall bucket list, here it is in its glory, and through the rest of the season you guys will see vlogs for me doing these things just like I did with Summerween, because I really did enjoy doing that and I hope that y'all enjoyed watching them. So first and foremost, I have on this list carve a real pumpkin. Every single year I say that we're going to carve a pumpkin. My partner has never carved a real pumpkin before. This year, I even bought all the stuff for a real pumpkin. My partner's excited for this. We're carving a real pumpkin this year. I haven't done it since I was a kid, but again, we're all about tapping back into healing our inner child. Another two on this list is go apple picking. So we plan to go to Oak Glen, which is an area in California where you can there's tons of apple orchards up that way. So I love apple cider. Love it. Alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Put it in I love tart apples. I think apples are the ultimate the that is the ultimate fall flavor for me. It's not pumpkin. It's apples. I think it's because I like tartness, and that's why I don't like things overly sweet, and pumpkin, that's what you're usually getting. So I think that's why I love it so much, but I have always wanted to go apple picking. I've been for a couple years now wanting to go to this area, and we've planned it out. We're going to this area finally. So I'm very excited to share that with y'all because there is an apple cider pizza place up in that area, and we are planning to go there as well. 3, we have Halloween crafts. So last for Summerween, I was supposed to do a Summerween craft. I got my idea together, time just ran out. So we're pushing that, and it's supposed to be a doll, a sewn doll. I really have been wanting to do one of these for a while, like an actual sewn doll. About 2 years ago, I did make a doll, but it was a combination of being sewn and I sculpted the head out of Sculpey, which it turned out great. I still have my little ugly Frankenstein on my bookshelf, but this year I want to actually sew a complete one. So I have a lot of the instructions. I've done some research. We're going to do that doll thing that I've been wanting to do. But also, I've been wanting to do a paper mache project, like a vintage paper mache project for some time now. I have the paper clay. I literally just need to do it. I did create something last year, but it wasn't something that I was ultimately very proud of, which is why I didn't finish the craft. But I think now I've kind of learned from some of my mistakes, and I'm ready to try it out again and try it with the paper clay instead of the paper mache strips, which were great. I think I highly recommend them. We'll talk about it more when I get to the craft, but I really want to do that craft this year. Plus, I still have that witch that I need to fix back there in the back. That is going to be a craft. It just wasn't going to be something where I was like, oh, I need to have this done before I put up my decor. Then, Halloween events. Basically, we've kind of already checked this off from going to Creep It Real today, but we have some other Halloween events planned for the rest of the season, and I like to kind of put this in here, even though I know I'm going to do these events. It's still the bucket list item because I'm planning that anyways, because I want to do more things outside of my home that make me feel a part of the horror Halloween community. So I always put that in here, and we're doing it. We have it planned. I already can check it off the list technically, but it'll stay there. Next is a Halloween movie night fall kickoff. We also just did that. I already told you about that, so I can cross that one off as well, but it was a bucket list item. We did that literally on the first weekend of September. We did that, and again, it was just so much fun. I cannot recommend it to you enough to y'all. Fall festival. Here, there aren't a lot of fall festivals because, well, we don't really have the fall season in LA. Yes, it's disappointing. There's no real hay rides. There's the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride, but it's overpriced and it's just not the same as one in Ohio. You just can't beat the idea of pulling up to a literal cornfield that somebody has just decided to deck out, and there's signs that have been painted and a trailer set up, and people have this community built hay mazes, hay rides, and corn mazes, and it's literally in a cornfield that has been used to make the corn that has been shipped off to stores. You just can't beat that. You can't beat it. You're in it. You're literally in it. You know, it's cold outside. It's actually chilly. You actually need a coat. You've got hot apple cider. This is the things that I miss about living in the Midwest. There's not a long list. Most of the things on that list, though, do have to do with the fall season. Now, last year, my partner was amazing and somehow found out how to bring fall to me. We drove quite some time up near Big Bear. Close. We didn't get to Big Bear, but it was very close. So it actually got chilly. Like actual fall weather chilly. And it was this place called Live Oak Canyon. So if you're in the LA area, I would love to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to tell anybody." No, that's not me. Just y'all don't make it get so crowded over there that it's no longer able for me to go, because literally it makes me feel like I'm in Ohio because of how the hay and the chill and the he literally brought Ohio Halloween to me. So y'all, please don't I'm begging y'all, please don't fill this place up that I can't get into this place anymore. But I'm going to share it because we do not like sit here and gatekeep things. This place called Live Oak Canyon. It has pumpkin patches and it has light and flower arrangement stuff, and it has like fair food but specific to like Halloween type stuff, and it has small games, like literal like fair type games there. But it's all fall, and you've got hay stuff, and you got petting zoos, and you have an actual corn maze. My partner did a corn maze. He was actually freaked out. It was a lot of fun. Loved it. They have like this pumpkin shoot pumpkins out of a cannon, and there's like actual rides, and it's amazing, y'all. It literally feels like a fall festival that has real fall, not just like we set it up in hot LA and it's like, let me think for a moment that this is actually, no, it feels like it actually is fall up there. Absolutely love it. They have it for Christmas as well. I have not been during Christmas, but somehow my partner brought fall to me, and I cried last year when he took at the end of the night because it was really, really sweet. So now it's become a thing that we have to go up there every single year. And so I have on here Fall Festival. But really, what I'm saying is we're going to Live Oak Canyon. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share it with y'all. Next, dress up in a costume. I am not throwing my costume party this year. One, I just don't have the bandwidth. It has been a rough year. It has been a crazy rough year. And it takes a lot to plan those. And I every single year that I plan it, I feel like I get a lot of anxiety around it because I'm constantly worried on whether or not people are having a good time. It's the reason why I don't like really throwing parties and stuff. I decided this year I'm not gonna plan. I'm not gonna have the Halloween party. Now I may end up having a small Halloween soiree where I invite a couple of people over and it's like a movie night or it's a dinner or something along those lines. But as far as having an actual Halloween party, I'm not gonna. It would have been our fifth year doing it, but I just it's a lot. It's anxiety inducing, and I really this year don't want to deal with the planning, the anxiety. Will people have a good time? Will people show up? All of that I have every single year. But I do want to dress up, and of course I'm the Halloween queen, so I do want to do something. So the Hollywood Forever Cemetery that constantly shows um, outdoor screenings amongst the stars, the grave sites of the stars, which I've never gone. I've wanted to go. Plenty of people I know have gone, but it's just never been right. I've never had anybody really go. They're having a Halloween party at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which I'm very excited about, and they're showing Scream. It's a costume party. Me and my partner are dressing up as Mulder and Scully, which we wanted to do last year and then it fell apart. This year we're actually doing it. I'm going to re-dye my hair redder than this. And we're going to watch Scream and we're going to have a Halloween picnic, and I'm very excited for it. So, that kind of knocks out a couple of things on here. Of course, it's a Halloween event, but it knocks out our dress up in costume, and also it knocks out visit a cemetery. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been to cemeteries, but I've not been like, oh, let me go to a pretty cemetery and like visit. It's of course been for the usual reasons that you visit a cemetery. And as gorgeous as cemeteries can be, the usual reasons I've visited have been very somber, of course, and I would like to visit without that pretense. So this has knocked out a couple of those because I have a couple of friends who are like, you know, what's a nice place to have a picnic? Respectfully so, pick, of course, a spot that's not, taken. And they're like, it's very nice. And I have stepped over into the Hollywood Forever Cemetery sometimes, but I would love to kind of see it because I feel like it's the one thing in LA that I haven't done after living here for a decade and a half. So this is going to knock out a couple of things on the list. We then have, after visit the cemetery, decorate for Halloween. Of course, we've already done that. Y'all are going to be seeing, finally, my decorations for this year's Halloween. Honestly, it took me much longer than I expected to do it. Most every year before this year, I have done it within a weekend. I don't know what happened this year. I needed like a whole week to finish it. I think it was just my mindset. Like I couldn't focus. It wasn't getting done. I am happy with it though. I'm very happy with where it all ended up. Next, watch some new horror and Halloween films / shows. I watch the same Halloween and horror movies every single year. Love them. They're not leaving the rotation anytime soon. However, I do feel like I need to watch some new ones, and I've kind of already started this. One, I have never watched The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. I know some of y'all right now are gasping at that, but reason why is I wasn't when I was a kid, I wasn't into Simpson type humor. I was a very like serious kid, all things considered. Now I think I can appreciate them because even my partner, he used to watch them and he had never seen any of the movies that they're referencing during those specials. Now I've had him watch those films and now he's like, "Oh, this is Friday the 13th. This is Nightmare on Elm Street. This is The Shining. This is, this, that, and the other." He never got them before. So I think I can appreciate it more. I've already started watching them. It's hilarious. But I think me now can find it hilarious. Me as a kid, I would have thought it was stupid. Because again, I took myself too seriously. Other thing, the other day I had this whole binge of like horror films that are games. Which now I want to do like book recommendations on horrors that are games. So I watched like Escape Room. Had never watched it. I just never got around to it. I finally watched The Blackening. I know. It's crazy that I never watched it. Finally did. Loved it. Absolutely thought it was hilarious. Loved it. I watched Until Dawn. Didn't love it as much. There was a lot of problems with that film. But nonetheless, I did watch it. It was great. So I'm kind of like, I finally watched Hard Eyes. That was hilarious. I'm kind of like in this mode where I'm like, I'm looking for some new movies to put into the rotation because I feel like I've been watching the same ones for years. Still love them, but we need to branch out, especially because now I'm feeling more and more comfortable watching horror films. That was a big deal for me for a while. All that being said, that is kind of like a goal rather than like it's a bucket list item, but it's also a goal. Next, read some horror classics. I already have my October TBR chosen. I've actually had it chosen for a while. In the lineup, I will let y'all know I plan on finally reading American Psycho, which unfortunately will have to be a physical read because no audio exists except on Audible for it. It sucks. But regardless, I want to read it. I've had American Psycho for 2 years now. So that I thrifted Amityville Horror some time back, so I'm excited to read that. I need to finally read that book. I've been wanting to for a while, and considering The Exorcist ended up being like now one of my top 5 horror books of all time now, I'm like, okay, we need to go back to the classics. I also picked up Zodiac some time back, so I'm excited to read that now. There's plenty of other things that are not classics, of course, for October, but I do have some classic that I'm knocking out, and I'm excited for it. For 12, I was about to say finally, but we've got 12. Bake a new fall treat. Y'all, I love baking. I only do it during the holiday season. Once we get into the Burr months, that's when like baking Kelsey is like the sleeper agent of baking Kelsey is activated. Like she hears Burr and she's like, ah, finally it's here. Let me activate myself. I can't cook. Don't get me wrong. I'm not very good at cooking. I don't get it. It's not fun for me. I don't like doing it. However, baking, I I'm good at. I'm not gonna be sitting here going like, put me on Great British Baking Show, but people ask for my baking year after year. They're going, oh, Kelsey, make this again. Oh, Kelsey, can you make this? Like, it's that good. It's good enough for people to ask for an encore, and I enjoy it. I like baking. And I think it's because I love sugar. I'm very much into sweet treats and stuff. And so there's something fun about it. And I also feel like for me, it's not as complicated as cooking is. Cooking feels like very overwhelming for me, whereas baking does not. I don't know what it is. But I have so many fall treats tagged, and I am looking to make some new fall treats. So that is on this bucket list as well. And finally, see, now it's finally 13. Binge, Charmed, Gilmore Girls, and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Those are my top 3 series that I watch every single year, no matter what. They all 3 are in very different realms of fall, and they speak to different parts of me and what I enjoy about this fall season. And so I have them on here. That was probably going to happen anyways, but I feel like it's more so like binge a lot of these series. I think I get hung up on watching all the movies and stuff, and honestly, I love watching TV shows as I work throughout the day. So binging these, I think I finally want to binge Supernatural, but I feel like that kind of fits under finding some new Halloween and horror films and shows to start watching because I've never watched all of Supernatural. I've seen bits and pieces here and there, and I love the show when I like have just watched random episodes, but I want to binge it and be like, I know what happens in Supernatural now. Like, I want to be one of those people. So, and that's for a couple of new shows too. So I kind of have that on here more so as like, hey, you want to binge these things. It's like when I was like, oh, let's binge X-Files again during Summerween, which we did not get through all of it, but it was great binging it, like eating breakfast and watching X-Files. Like, that was kind of our thing. This is now kind of the thing that I'll be doing now in the morning and watching that. That is my bucket list for this year, for this awesome autumn, spooky season, whatever you want to call it. That is my bucket list. I am already off to a really good start, to be honest, and my October isn't full. Me and my partner kind of left it a little open, and some breathing room so that we knew that things would pop up. So we're kind of allowing some space for things too, especially near the end of October, because we do have friends who will plan things and stuff like that. We're figuring all of that out, but I still feel like this is a really solid list. And what I loved about last season's list was that it felt very doable. It didn't feel like this is overwhelming, I don't know how I'm gonna do all this stuff and all of that. It felt like, oh, I've already knocked out like 2 of these things already. I say that to say, if you're making a bucket list, don't make it too hard. Make it so that it's like definitely things that you're like, oh, I've been wanting to do this. Oh, I'm so happy to like finally get to this and plan for it. But also at the same time, this is supposed to be fun. So try your best not to like put, hey, I want to take a trip to, Seattle, and you live in Florida. If you have the means, girl, do it, by all means. But if you don't put that pressure on yourself to be like, let me spend a ton of money to go out and do this thing. Remember, it's supposed to be fun. So I think putting very obtainable things, carve a pumpkin, watch a film, make a pizza, are very doable, but they still put you in that spirit. And I think that that's the big reason for these bucket lists too, at least for me, is trying to create these moments that are nostalgic and memorable, just like they were when we were kids, having these moments that didn't have so much like, I need to spend a lot of money to do it and all of that. It just feels purposeful. That is a bit of my advice. I'm excited to share all of my moments and of fun this upcoming season. I had so much fun sharing them with you for Summerween. And I've already had a really great start so far, personally, as far as spooky season and the fall is concerned. The heat is finally breaking in LA. So I am thankful that I can finally start dressing the way that I want to, and I can stop sweating so much. If any of that sounds great to you, please subscribe down below. If you are excited to see what I'll be doing this spooky season, along with what I'll be reading and watching, please, again, subscribe down below and like this video if you like today's video. Thank y'all so much again for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!